Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlelamia back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Royal Rumble botch ruined major Rumble spot, reason for match finish of Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins revealed, next year's WrestleMania main event revealed, Alexa Bliss throws shade at Ronda Rousey, plus much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get on to our first story. Royal Rumble botch ruined major Rumble spot. Our top story today takes a look at last night's Royal Rumble and how a major botch in the match ruined a planned spot. The Men's Rumble has received criticism from fans for a number of reasons, and the match just seemed to fall flat in several key areas. One of the most disappointing things in the match occurred when Kofi Kingston botched his annual Rumble spot. Kofi has become notable for performing spots every Rumble which see him escape from an elimination by performing heroic acts of athleticism. Kofi would enter the match at number 24, and he was quickly knocked off the apron by Kevin Owens. Kofi managed to jump and land on the barricade, but sadly, both of his feet touched the ground. WWE could have pretended like Kofi's feet didn't touch the floor, but they decided to call it as if it was a shoot and subsequently ruled that Kofi had been eliminated. According to Brian Alvarez, WWE had big plans for Kofi in the rest of the Rumble, and he was supposed to perform a memorable spot with fellow New Day member Big E. Alvarez tweeted, "Kofi's big spot was mistimed and he was legitimately eliminated when he wasn't supposed to be. There were spots planned later with Big E out there." Real reason for Reigns vs. Rollins post-match angle revealed. The Royal Rumble pay-per-view kicked off with a match between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins for the Universal title. The match received widespread acclaim, that was until the lazy DQ finish. The match was on course to be a Match of the Year contender, and naturally, fans were left disappointed with the lackluster finish. According to Dave Meltzer, WWE knew that they were going to face major backlash for the DQ finish, and therefore decided to perform the post-match angle involving Reigns attacking Rollins with a chair. Meltzer revealed, "To get out of the people booing it, Roman hit him with a million chair shots when it was over, including a chair shot to the back, basically to mimic the Seth Rollins chair shot to the back when the Shield broke up. So you know that was to turn boos for the match into boos for Roman at the end of the segment, and it pretty much worked that way. So that was the plan. That was the whole gist of it. They still crapped on it after, but they would have crapped on it in a longer and more negative way if they didn't end it that way, but they ended it with the chair shots." Terrible finish aside, there are calls to see a rematch between the two talented superstars. They have tremendous chemistry, and with the post-match angle having callbacks to the Shield's breakup, it looks like the storyline is going to continue. With Brock Lesnar winning the Men's Royal Rumble, and with Reigns vs. Lesnar being planned for WrestleMania, it's unclear where Rollins fits in with these plans. What did you make of the DQ finish between Reigns and Rollins? Let us know in the comments below. Unused Royal Rumble entrants revealed. WWE decided to bring a surplus of talent for both respective Royal Rumbles last night. The logic for this was that WWE had a number of backup superstars just in case any of the WWE superstars planned for the match failed WWE's established COVID protocols. The names that were backstage for the show include former NXT Women's Champion Io Shirai, Jillian Hall, Oksana, and Caitlyn. In relation to the Men's Rumble, it was believed that Gunther and NXT champion Braun Breaker were both brought to St. Louis for the Rumble, but obviously weren't used. It's worth noting that not a single NXT talent was used in the match. Fans were quick to point out that a number of top stars were absent from the Men's Rumble. For instance, Cesaro wasn't present in the match, which was a massive shame, as Cesaro remains one of the most popular stars on the roster. Another superstar who was mysteriously absent was Finn Balor. You would think the WWE would put the inaugural Universal Champion in the match, but it appears that he is at home in Ireland, taking time away from the squared circle. Next year's WrestleMania plans revealed. Ronda Rousey made her grand return to WWE last night and managed to win the Women's Royal Rumble. It's now being reported that Ronda is set to challenge Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania. Ronda is expected to be joining the SmackDown roster to begin her feud with Charlotte, and it's clear that the Fox network clearly wants someone of Ronda's star power on the show. Although Charlotte vs. Ronda sounds fine on paper, it's left a number of fans disappointed, as they wanted to see Ronda take on Becky Lynch. Ronda should be setting her sights on big-time Bex. After all, Becky was the one who defeated her for the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania 35. For those wondering, Ronda is set to be a heel during her second run. This was confirmed by Ronda herself during a backstage promo that was posted on WWE's social media accounts. Ronda revealed that she wasn't going to be fooled by the crowd's positive reaction, stating that she fell for it last time, but this time it'll be a completely different story. In relation to Charlotte, fans were under the impression that she was going to defend her title against Sasha Banks, but these plans have clearly changed. Sasha's WrestleMania plans are currently in limbo, and fans have been suggesting on social media that she faces a legend such as Lita in a featured matchup at the Showcase of the Immortals. According to Dave Meltzer on the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, WWE plans on doing Becky vs. Ronda, but not until next year, specifically at WrestleMania 39 in California. With The Rock vs. Roman Reigns being rumored for next year's WrestleMania, the card for next year's WrestleMania could be one of the best WrestleMania cards in WWE history. Are you guys happy with WWE's plans for Charlotte vs. Ronda at this year's WrestleMania? Let us know in the comments below. Alexa Bliss throws shade at Ronda Rousey. Speaking of Ronda Rousey, Raw superstar Alexa Bliss took to Twitter following Ronda's victory and posted some apparent shade toward the baddest woman on the planet. Alexa would post a GIF with the caption, "What a surprise," before promptly deleting the tweet. Bliss was quick to backtrack by claiming she was referring to her character work. She would state, "That's the surprise. I still have to work on me." It was clear that Bliss wasn't a fan of Ronda returning to win the matchup. The two notably had a personal issue during Ronda's initial WWE run. Ronda was overly stiff with Alexa, and this caused a number of injuries to Alexa, something that Alexa still clearly holds a grudge over. Bliss was one of the favorites heading into the Women's Rumble match, but WWE decided to leave her out of the match completely. Bliss has been undergoing therapy on Raw as of late, and fans wait in anticipation to see if Bliss is going to keep her current supernatural gimmick or revert back to her goddess persona. Names who turned down a Royal Rumble spot revealed. Our final story today takes a look at two names the WWE contacted for the Royal Rumble, but the talents in question ultimately turned them down. One of these was Lana. Lana was released in the summer of 2021 and hasn't achieved anything of note since her WWE departure. Lana turning down the appearance comes as a surprise, but it's likely that Lana didn't feel a surprise Rumble appearance would have been beneficial to her career. It was also rumored that Kairi Sane was offered a spot in the Rumble, but just like Lana, she turned this down. Kairi was working as an ambassador for WWE, but her contract expired in December of 2021. Kairi making a one-time appearance in the Rumble would have been great, but with Kairi currently residing in Japan, it would have been a substantial commitment for the former NXT Women's Champion. There you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Don't forget to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time, back for some more wrestling content.